In our last two sessions, we read a letter from an Iraq war veteran who wondered how he could keep living in a world where he had seen such terrible things happen. I described how my children thought the loss of a sandcastle was the end of the world to them, because their perspective was limited. As with my children, the perspectives we all have will determine how we feel and behave. When we believe we're here to experience convenience, pleasure, and fairness, life often becomes a series of inconveniences, injustices, and even tragedies. But the purpose of life is to feel and share real love, and with that perspective, everything changes. Now back to the writer of the letter. Let's look at your example of friends who were maimed or killed or otherwise injured during the war in Iraq. If our goals were simply to live long and comfortably, the trauma experienced by your friends would be tragic beyond expression. But when you understand that it's real love, receiving and giving, that is the ultimate goal of life, you can begin to realize that it is often pain and difficult experiences that provide us uniquely powerful opportunities to learn to be loving. During World War II, several authors recorded the experiences they had had in concentration camps, where millions of people had been treated most cruelly. They said that many of those in the camps became bitter because of the mistreatment of their captors, but there were others for whom the inhumanity of their jailers became exercises in learning to love. Viktor Frankl and Corrie ten Boom, among others, said that precisely because of the persecutions heaped upon them and others, they were able to achieve a level of unconditional love that otherwise they would not likely have ever known. I do not mean in any way to justify the villainy of those who behave horribly during wars or in any other situation. I do suggest, however, that from these apparently terrible circumstances, we can learn the qualities of character that matter most. When people treat us nicely, we certainly feel good, but we tend to become attached to that good feeling. We want it to continue, and our happiness tends to be determined by the behavior of others in those circumstances. When they treat us well, we're happy, but when they treat us poorly, we're uniformly unhappy, and therefore we become slaves to the behavior of other people. This kind of happiness is fleeting. It comes and goes according to circumstance. It's undependable. It's not real. Real happiness is possible only when we are independent from the behavior of others. Happiness is real only when we become capable of being loving toward other people while they are behaving badly. So as people behave abominably, rather than resent these experiences, we need to regard them as powerful, even essential exercises in loving. As athletes in training, we actually seek out difficult experiences to build up our muscles and our abilities to perform. Without these training experiences, lifting weights, running, swimming, biking, climbing, repetitive routines of many kinds, we would not be able to perform at the level we desire. And it's the same with emotional and spiritual performance. We all want to be happy. We all want that. But what we fail to realize often is that happiness isn't a magical gift. It requires training also. And that's what the difficult experiences in life provide us. We'll talk more about this in our next session.